Bring it back. 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 Bring it back.
This is very hard to explain because it's a complex technology, but
From the And the Groovy Maze production team studios in the Netherlands. My name is 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀 and welcome to this live stream. My mission is not to sell you as many apps as I can. No, my mission is to educate and teach you about audio track collection management and conversion for DJs, so you save yourself some time for the fun and creative part of being a DJ. For those of you unfamiliar with who I am a 57-year-old dude from the Netherlands. I had my first DJ residency at the age of 15, which means this is over 40 years of DJ experience in the flesh. I am no longer an active DJ, I call myself a retired DJ. However, you may know me from a little app that I wrote, the DJ conversion utility that helps you convert between various DJ software, maintaining your cues, your loops, your beat grids and all that other good stuff, so you don't have to redo it when you switch DJ software. That is not the only DJ software I created for DJs. I created tons of other apps, all aiming at making your life as a DJ a little bit easier. Each Tuesday, 7 o'clock PM, Central European Time, you can find me right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter and even Instagram these days. And I try to answer questions that I got from users of my tools or questions that people ask live in the chat. Before we start, I have to say that I am a little bit on the downside. I have a kind of a personal drama going on in my life, which means I am not my happy self today, and I'm really sorry for that. But I just wanted to hang out with you guys because I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with me each Tuesday. So for that reason I decided, let's do the stream. I don't have that many topics, and like I said, I'm a bit in a down mood, but hey, let's get the show going and let's see what we can do. Do the DJ, big ups 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, happy Tuesday my friends. Big Do, always good to have you with us, and thank you for being such a good guest. DJ on the ones and twos, long time no see my friend, and good to have you with us. 𝗷𝗵𝗿𝗄, hi 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, hi 𝗷𝗵𝗿. Thank you, Do. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not that life-ending big of a drama, but it's a drama in my life. So for that reason, yeah, I'm usually pretty upbeat, as everybody knows. But this was kind of unexpected. It's a complex situation, like Grimes would say.
I hope this works. We're having a major technical difficulty. But fuck it.
Like that. There are some things that we need to address, need to talk about. First of all, last week, of course, I spoke about the big DJ speed test, the tests I performed with Rekordbox 7 compared to, let's say, Rekordbox 6 and other DJ software. That big test, revealed some problems. One of those problems has been fixed, and that is with the 7.0.1 update that Pioneer DJ just rolled out. What bug was fixed? That is the export bug. Export times from Rekordbox 7 would be very, very crazy slow because Rekordbox 7 was reanalyzing tracks that were already analyzed in Rekordbox 6. Lucky enough, within a week after getting that and having some people on the Pioneer DJ side making aware of it, they were able to fix this very quickly. Like I said, it was a small bug. The other things that I pointed out in last week's video still remain, so the slow analysis is still a point. But in this stream we will also look at a way to improve some speed with Rekordbox 7. Another thing that happened was that I had my masterclass at Buckshop last Saturday, which was pretty busy for that kind of masterclass. And I think that I can see some people coming into the stream as well as a guest, because it was a very enthusiastic crowd. I really enjoyed doing that masterclass. Let's see what's going on in the stream or in the chat right now. MF Young Dreadnought, hello 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗀, hello MF. Do DJ, I feel ya, we all have them, and yeah, thank you very much, though. I really appreciate your positive thinking. Thank you. Dear Mixmaster G, I bought the Rekordbox Collection Tool and I'm really happy with it. I have one question regarding the automatic relocation. Sure, ask the question that you want to know, and I'm glad that you like rsct. It's the most complex piece of software I have ever developed, I can say that frankly, but it is very, very powerful. djay, hi Mixmaster G, nice to see you, nice to have you with us in the chat as well, djay. By the way, if you are watching this, please give the video the thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, but most importantly tell your DJ friends about the availability of this information totally for free, so they can ask me questions and take advantage of it and maybe finally have things resolved that they were having for a long time. The thing that I wanted to speak with you guys about is Rekordbox 7 and its integration with iTunes. And before we do that, I made a very simple iTunes/music collection. I like to keep this calling iTunes because if you call it music, then it becomes such a confusing thing. So it is the music app, but I call it iTunes, and I call it iTunes just so we all know what we're talking about. And as you can see, there are some playlists in my iTunes. Now, if I go to Rekordbox, and I go to Rekordbox 7, but this doesn't exactly work the same in Rekordbox 6, so we are going to do this in Rekordbox 7. Go away. There we are. Then we have right here the Music tab. And underneath is playlists. Now, before we go to playlists, what is important is that the iTunes sync is a two-stage rocket, if you like to call it. First of all, we need to know how we are talking to Rekordbox, and in order to do that, we go to the preferences. And in the preferences, we go to the advanced preferences. And I always have to look where they are. There it is, advanced. And under the advanced tab, you have the load method in iTunes, and that is now set to framework. Framework is the new modern way of talking to the iTunes collection, which means you don't have to prepare anything in iTunes or the Music app. Rekordbox will know where it is and know what to do with it. The problem is the implementation of the framework in Rekordbox is extremely slow. And I just discovered this with my very big collection of 115,000 tracks, that when I was opening Rekordbox, it took like almost half an hour to fully start up, and that was not acceptable for me. So I was looking if I could find a way to make it some faster, and I could. First of all, I'm going to switch to export mode. I was in performance mode, but we are going to export mode for this. So hold on, we are in export mode now. And then at the lower left corner, you have what is known as the sync manager. Here it is, the sync manager. And as you can see, right now I am not talking to Rekordbox at all because it is not activated. The moment I say activated here and I say sync, that means that all information from the Music app is imported into Rekordbox, which also means, and I usually have to reload this one, that I now have those playlists that I created. I don't see those playlists. Why don't we see those playlists? Ah, there they are. There are those playlists. Now the problem is, this method, the framework method, is with a big collection really slow. And I discovered that using the iTunes XML way is much faster. But it's a two-parter. The first part is getting the playlists from iTunes/the Music app. The second part is syncing all the tracks, or actually checking all the tracks in Rekordbox if something changed with iTunes. So, for instance, if you added new tracks to a playlist, then something changed. Or if you gave new star ratings, then something changed. And that needs to be synced. That sync is slow, and there's nothing we can do about it. However, the initial loading of the playlists is fast. And those playlists are what you need. That is what you really need. So let me show you how that old method works. Basically everything stays the same. However, in the Music app, you need to go to File, to Library, right there, and then to Export Library. Again, this is the old XML method. If we do that, it asks us where do you want to store it. Let's store it in the Music app, or in the Music folder. So I saved that library, and this is a small one, in the Music folder. Now if I go to Rekordbox and I go to the Preferences and I go to the Advanced Preferences, then I can now say I want to use the iTunes XML. However, I need to point out which XML to use, so I need to say, alright, we want to use in the Music the library XML. That is what I just exported. Look at the date, today, just a few moments ago, and open it. By doing this, that first stage, and that first stage is getting the playlists, will be much faster. We're talking about half a minute versus 20 minutes. So that is really fast. However, if you have in the Sync Manager this thingy enabled, which means sync all the data, that second phrase will still be very slow. Long story short, if you didn't change anything in iTunes and you just want to access your playlists, then it's wise to uncheck the synchronized iTunes playlists. Just uncheck it, because all you want is those playlists. And if you press this little thingy here, you can see how fast this loads now. This is of course a very small collection, and there you have your playlists with the tracks in it ready to go. So this way you are extremely fast when it comes to accessing playlists in iTunes from within Rekordbox. So again, let me show you again the steps that you need to take. First of all, make sure that when you quit Rekordbox, this thing is off, because if it's on, then it will take ages for Rekordbox to sync. Second thing, in iTunes or in the Music app, export the library manually and export it at the place that you know where it's at. So if you put it in the Music folder, then you know exactly where it's at and where you can get it. And then in Rekordbox, tell Rekordbox to use under Advanced Database the iTunes XML method and point it to the correct Music XML, the XML you just exported. And that's why it's so important that you put it in the same place and that you know where you put it. But once you have put it there, like I just did, then it will be there and you will be good to go. This is the fastest way you can get access to your iTunes/Music apps, and I still hope that the Rekordbox team will at least improve the framework method, so this will be a little bit more fluid. It will never be a speed demon, but I hope that they can make it a little bit faster than that. Then I see some questions coming in. Felix is typing a lot. Before I used RCT, I was kind of messy when it comes to Rekordbox library. Now that the duplicates are sorted out, it is much better. Now here comes this problem. I upgraded myself from an i7 MacBook Pro onto an M3 MacBook Pro. The export and import from all my Rekordbox library went fine. About 150 were only located on my USB stick and are missing in my new M3 MVP library. I plugged in my USB stick and wanted to relocate the tracks onto my hard drive using the auto relocate and duplicate feature within RCT. Unfortunately, after the auto relocate is done and I plug out the USB, the missing tracks won't relocate. My guess is that they are not copied onto my hard drive. Yes, relocate does not copy any tracks to a hard drive. Relocate simply looks at the tracks that are not existing in your Rekordbox collection, and it then links them to the tracks that it can find at the given location. So if you say you have to look on the USB, then it will relocate them on the USB. So what you need to do is manually move those tracks from the USB to your computer and then relocate with the tracks on your computer, and that way it will stick even without the USB. So I hope that that is the clear answer. Yeah, and those says the same. And indeed, though, you have to copy the files to the MacBook Pro and then run the relocate. And the problem is he has about 3,000 tracks on the USB. What you then can do is rename the USB, and this is going to be a little bit technical, but rename the USB, relocate using RCT on the renamed USB, and then RCT will make a playlist under the Rekordbox Collection Tool with the tracks that it was able to relocate. Let's see if I can show you. Let's see if I can show you that. I have to set up some stuff for that, but we can do that. We got the time. Okay, so let's do this. Hold on. I'm going to quit Rekordbox here, and I'm going to quit that, and then I'm going to plug in a USB, and I hope the other end is plugged in as well, so we can access that. Let's see. And let's empty that drive. And then I'm going to put some top 40 tracks on it. I don't care. Test tracks. What do I have? Audio files. Okay. Here we got some audio files on my Rekordbox Collection USB. What I'm now going to do is I go to Rekordbox. I don't need to register that, my friend. Okay, we are in Rekordbox and we create a playlist. Testing. And then we take just a few tracks. I'm not going to take them all because that's the whole trick of it. So I have a few tracks that are on my... There we are. Let's analyze them. Quickly, like this. So here we have, let me put this off so you can see it all. There we are. We have a little test collection. Now the moment I rename the drive, so what I recommend you to do because it will find them if they are available. So let's do it like this. And we rename the drive testing, and I go back to my Rekordbox. You will see that some of the tracks are missing, which makes sense because, hey, they are missing. So if I say display all missing files, there we are. There are tracks missing, and you can see them right there missing. And if we get into the playlist, we have them missing too. So 3 tracks should be, because only the testing tracks are valid. I don't know what else was in my playlist. I don't know what they are. Something else. This is my Pink Panther song. Alright, like this. Alright, so those 3 tracks are missing right now. Let's fire up the Rekordbox Collection Tool. Let's see if I got it as a shortcut. No, I don't. And I'm going to do this in the Rekordbox Collection Tool. Actually, this would work just fine with Rekordbox relocation because I didn't move anything far and about. So it should normally, Rekordbox should normally be able to allocate them, but on purpose I'm using the Rekordbox Collection Tool, and in a moment you will see why. Because what you want to see is the results thing. So we say auto relocate, and the track should be somewhere on testing, and then we say start relocate, and we just wait for that. That was that. And it's starting up Rekordbox 7, as you see. Now, under the playlists, we have a Rekordbox Collection Tool playlist. And under there, there's processed, and under there's auto relocate, and these are the successful relocations. Now, here comes the trick. This is the trick. You make, I don't know where you want to store them on your computer, but let's say you want to store them on your desktop, and you say my extra audio files and open it, and then you can drag the tracks from this playlist straight into there, like this. So now I copied only the relocated tracks, so the tracks that were missing. So I kind of sorted it all out, because on my USB are a shitload of tracks, you see, but only these were in my Rekordbox collection and those were missing. So now I've got the tracks that were missing on my computer, and then again we can eject this drive. These tracks will be missing, so I can fire up the Rekordbox Collection Tool yet again. And yes, I know it's a little bit trickery. We need to eject this one. But actually this is the best you can do, because we still need to relocate them to the other part. So we say auto relocate, and this auto relocation is only possible with the Rekordbox Collection Tool, because the tracks were copied over to my desktop. So the inode changed and Rekordbox cannot relocate those, but lucky for us, the Rekordbox Collection Tool can. And you can see there is no USB there, the USB is entirely gone, and the tracks should be available. Then they are, you can already see that they are available. But if we go to the testing playlist, you can see that all the tracks are available and exactly where they should be. By the way, I am seeing some reports coming in online on Reddit, and I had a user approaching me with the same problem, that sometimes, under some circumstances, Rekordbox 7 either refuses to remove tracks from the collection. So if you do this and you say remove from playlist or collection, it will not remove it. It removes it just now, so that works all fine. But under some circumstances, it seems not to work. The fix for that is creating a new playlist. And I know that is not what you want to hear, but create a new playlist and just give it the same name, and then take the tracks from the playlist that was giving you problems to the new playlist. That fixes that issue. I have to report it yet to Pioneer DJ, I just thought about it. But I've seen more than one instance of this, and I've heard more than one instance of this. So this seems to be an issue for certain users. Be warned. Let's see what's going on in the chat at the moment. Gamer, can you use the djay XP2 as a sampler and assign 24 samples to all pads, meaning load all the samples from the banks of Serato? To be honest, I am totally not familiar with the XP2. I know that it exists, and that's about the end of it, so I wouldn't know that. The person who knows that is 𝗃𝗃 Professor BX from Pioneer, but he's not in the chat right now, so that would be somebody who might know that. But just reach out to Pioneer and ask it. They will be happy to help you with it. Bitstream. I'm playing on a CDJ 850, so I use the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool to convert cue to memory points, but since a while the tool is messing up the order of the cue points. The thing is that the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool always sorts hot cues chronologically, so it sorts them chronologically. However, you can disable that if you want to go from hot to memory cues by just saying that you want to protect hot cues. Let me show you that. So let's take this track and let's go to one playlist or one deck, because I like to be on one player like this. That gives me at least a little bit. And then let's put a hot cue there and put a hot cue here. You can see that I'm deliberately making it a wrong order, right? So this is the A cue, this is the B cue, and this is the C cue on purpose. Now, the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool is my tool that bridges the gap between mixed in key and Rekordbox, which means that you don't, if you are on Rekordbox 6 or 7, you don't need to juggle with all kinds of complicated stuff. You can just use the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool and it will take the mixed in key data from mixed in key to Rekordbox. However, there's another thing that it can do, and that is exactly what Bitstream is talking about. It can also set hot cues and memory cues identical and merging them. And let's go to the advanced settings right here. And in the advanced settings, you can say merge hot and memory cues. Now, what you want to enable Bitstream is don't change hot bank entries. That way, your very weird order will remain. So let's do it first with the don't change hot bank entries, and let's run it. It should be very quick. Like this, because there's no mixed in key data there to be integrated, unless I by accident had already analyzed those tracks. But if we load this up, then you can still see that my order is still messed up. It is not what you want. But the memory cues are always sorted chronologically. It is how Rekordbox works. For instance, I cannot take out the middle, because if I take out the middle, then let's remove that one. Then the other ones, so the memory cue bank is always chronologically ordered and always in one part. So you cannot make a memory cue 8 or a memory cue 5. It is just always filled to capacity. So let me show you if you don't take that option on. So if you don't have the protect hot cues on in the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool, because then it will also automatically sort the hot cues chronologically. And I think that's happening at your part. And if you don't want that, you see it's disabled by default. You can see it right there. So let's run it again, but now this time with the disabled setting. In general, I am not a fan of keeping your hot cue or thinking about hot cue orders. If you really want to know what a hot cue is doing, use colors, use hot cue colors, because that will be much better transferable. But you can see right now that my hot cues are now sorted chronologically. In other words, the order in the hot bank is messed up, if you like. So that's how you do that. Oh, I was not switching the screen. I'm not switching. Okay, folks, we are going to do this yet again. So let's take it from the top. Sorry, that happens at least once a stream. So let's do this again. Here's my screen. And let's put a hot cue there. And let's put a hot cue there. And I put a hot cue here. So these are not chronologically, as you can see. You can see that that order is not chronologically at all. The A is at the end and the B is at the middle. If I run the Rekordbox Cue and Key tool, oh, by the way, let's the memory cues. Should I take them off? Yeah, let's take those memory cues off, otherwise it becomes very messy. So just give it a sec. So here we are back again. Let's load up the track. And let's take, because those were set by the Q and key tool earlier. So we only have those in a weird order hotkeys, right? Quit Rekordbox here. Start up the Rekordbox Q and key tool. Let me take this from the top again. So I will first do this the right way, maintaining that weird order, and then I will show you the wrong way. Right here you have the option to say don't change hot bank entries. That means nothing will happen to your hot bank entries. So if there are memory queues there, they will not be merged to the hot bank entries, but the hot bank entries will be merged to the memory bank. So if you enable this one, your hot bank queues are protected. The order of hot bank queues is protected. There we are. That's why we do this in small things. So we still have this weird order in the hotcue bank, exactly what you wanted. And if you go to the memory, oh, did I delete something? Oh, there's duplicate there. Which one is duplicate? Those are duplicates. And it sorts the duplicates. Let's give it an extra queue right here, and let's take this one off. Let's make that A. And if you go right here, then you can see that those memory queues are there made. Like I said before, memory queues are always chronologically sorted. There is no other way. If I take the top one out, you will see that the last one becomes the top one. There is no way to set a 5th or a 6th memory queue. It just fills up to capacity and then sorts it all. And let's take this one off as well, because right now what I will do is I will show the wrong way. What will happen if you do this the wrong way? At least if you want to maintain your hotkeys, I like to have everything chronologically, because then you may have some room in between to set your own hotkeys, because that's something else that it automatically does then. But let's not check the don't change hot bank entries, just merge. And let's do this again. And there we are again. And now you will see that my hotkeys are sorted chronologically, because I didn't protect it. And indeed you have your memory queues there. And like I said, if you take the middle one out, you will see that they will squeeze together if you like. So that is how the queues work in Rekordbox. There's not much I can change about it, but that's how you can work with the Rekordbox Q and key tool to make sure that that works perfectly well for you. Let's see, though the DJ is helping bitstream as well. Then those says switch screens. Yeah, everybody said, well guys, I got the switch screen. I saw it myself, though a little bit late, sorry for that. Then the last thing that I wanted to discuss today, unless there are questions. So if you got a question for me, drop it in the chat right now and I'm happy to address it. But this will be the last thing that I want to discuss. Actually, it is something that was discussed like 4 weeks ago, because I didn't know that Rekordbox had that feature too, so we actually spoke about this earlier. But what you have inside Algorithm DJ is what is known as storing of track combinations. If you have a track combination that works really well, you can store it. Now, where can you store it? And that is always a little bit the trick. You have to find it, and let me see if I can find it too, because this is the auto mix. That is not what I wanted. I wanted to go to the info. Now you can see the info is totally empty there, and it is selected. Selected means that the moment I click a track, it will show me the info for that track. Now, next to that, you also have a related tab that you can click. And this is where the magic happens, because in here you can store which tracks really work fine or well together. So I can put this track right here, and then I can say, all right, I want the active deck to be the thing, and then I can take this track and I can say it works very well with 𝗵𝗲𝗇 and it works very well with this. Now let me show you what happens if I load the track that has a related track like this. Then I can make a choice out of these two because I know these two work very well. So I can load this one up in there. Now if this track also has a related track, so if that is, let's make that one a related track, then you will see it right there. It has a related track there. So it works both ways and you can store tracks that work really well. If you go back a few Ask Me Anythings, and you can find them all in my YouTube channel, there's a playlist called Ask Me Anything, and there it has all my Ask Me Anythings, and I think it's 3 or 4 weeks ago I demonstrated how this function works in Rekordbox because it has that function too, and this is extremely powerful. In that very same Ask Me Anything I also showed you my first DJ program from 1988, mind you, where I demonstrate or that I created that also had this function in it. It was the collection manager for my vinyl and CDs, but I also could store track combinations in it and very quickly find those track combinations if I was searching for a particular track. But it is in DJ, it is in Rekordbox, and I think it's very worth checking that out. Then let's see, there are some other questions. 𝗀𝗽𝘀, I'm ready to move to the Netherlands just to run the camps and help test software. So to GoFundMe. Though I like the idea. Thank you, my friend. And like I say, I just did the steps you explained. It worked, and now all of my missing tracks were relocated on my hard drive. Thank you very much. I told you, my friend. Yeah, that is why I do these Ask Me Anything live streams for the geeky, nerdy stuff that is a little bit hard to find out, but actually it is possible. And like I said, the Rekordbox Collection Tool is such a powerful tool for Rekordbox users that it can do the most amazing things if you know how to do that. Like I said earlier, this is also was also the last topic that I had on the list to discuss, which means that in a few moments I will close this stream for this week, but you can find me back next week, and I hope in a much better mood than today, but we'll see about that. For now, I thank you all for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you showing up each Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central European Time, and joining me to talk about DJ tech stuff and geeking out on it. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget, give the video the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Tomorrow morning I make an index for this video under all the other Ask Me Anything live streams. In that playlist there is an index with all the topics of that particular stream that you can jump straight to the topic of interest, so that can save you a lot of time. Bitstream says, hi, it does put them on random numbers, thought I put them in order. Felix, Rekordbox 7 is fully compatible with Rekordbox Collection Tool, so you can use it. Make sure that you are on the latest version, that's the only thing. It never puts them into random numbers, but what it does is it will cut up the track in 8 pieces because you have 8 hotcues, and then it will assign a hotcue to the most logical 1/8 part of a track. So for instance, if you have an outro cue at the end of the track, that will most likely be in the 8th hotcue bank. If you have an intro cue set at the early start of the track, it will be at the 1st hotcue, which leaves you room to set your own cues in between. That's the reason why it will spread them across the track. But if there are 2 cues at the very early part, then you cannot put something in between there because those are stacked together. There is no 1/8 in between. So that is why it's nothing random at all. It is spread out over the track, so you have room to set your own. There is logic behind the reason, right? Darukas, my friend, you are late to the party today because we are closing down already, but always good to see you. All right, my friends, This was the stream for this week. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope to see you all back next week, 7 o'clock p.m. Central European Time. Mixmaster G